Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to the channel Bookables. Welcome to a recent reads video. I have four fall romances that just released very recently, like this past month, and I'm going to let you know whether I think they are worth the read or not, and if they're autumnal, because I do say that publishers are amazing at making autumnal covers, but are they really truly autumnal? Because the cover can be misleading, not only with like the fall vibes, but also a lot of times I've read where there's a dog on the cover and there's no dog to be in sight in the book, which I think is incredibly misleading. That should be a crime. I'm going to talk about 4 books and letting you know whether or not I think they are worth the read and have all of those many things. So the books I will be talking about today are If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia, Heartbreak Hotel by Ellen O. Clover, Honeycrisp Orchard Inn by Valerie Bowman, and People Watching by Hannah Boehm Young. As always, there will be timestamps down below for you to pick and choose if you want to hear about one of them, all of them, you get the vibes. But either way, let's get on to talking about it. So first up, we have If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. And I was really anticipating this book because the cover is very, very fallish. It's beautiful. Not only that, but it's in the 90s in a very small town in Vermont, I believe. And it's just adorable. I have to say, I really enjoyed this one. I would give this a rating of 4 out of 5, and I would also give it a 4 out of 5 leaves because it was very autumnal. So I do believe the cover does deliver what's inside the book. So this book follows Michelle, who at the beginning of the book sadly loses her mom. And like it starts off with her at the funeral, and her husband's like, we need to tell people we're getting divorced. And she's like, it's a funeral, bro. Like, can we not? And he's like, we need to. And so he just kind of dips. Then it takes place months later when she goes to move to Vermont to take over her parents' like bed and breakfast. And she's only doing it for a few months till her sister can fill in. So she's doing it from September till December. That's why it takes place in the Burr months, you know? And so she does that, and she's really kind of cold. She's not a very warm person, but there she meets Cliff, her next door neighbor, who's a single dad to 2 girls, and she begins kind of a friendship with him. He's very warm. He's a freaking baker, for goodness sakes. And he's like, look, I'll help you kind of be more hospitable. Look, I'll kind of help you be more hospitable to the guests and things like that. She's like, fine. And so they kind of form a friendship from there. It was really, really cute. It's set in small town. I loved it. It was very much like Gilmore Girls. I know every fall book's like, this book like Gilmore Girls, this book. And I'm like, I think any small town book is going to be always compared to Gilmore Girls because I think that's just kind of the standard. But I have to say this one does deliver. It's everyone knows everybody. Everyone helps everybody. There's always like festivals that are going on where they're putting things up. And it was just adorable. It was very slow burn about how Cliff and Michelle first just kind of got to know each other, then they became friends, and they realized, oh, I have feelings. And, you know, he's also a single dad to his 2 kids. One's a teenager, one's really young. So he's like, how do I navigate this? Also, there is a dog on the cover, and I'm happy to say the dog is very much in the book. The dog's name is Rocket. He's a border collie, if I'm not mistaken, and she has him. It's actually her ex's dog, and he's like, I can't take care of this dog anymore. So not only that, but like the very last chapter, it's not spoiling anything, you get the point of view of Rocket, which I thought was just so friggin' sweet. It is lengthy. That's the one qualm I have with it. It's like over 400 pages. Like, oh, I'm sorry. It's literally like 500 pages. I don't think any romance has any business being 500 pages. That's just me personally. So it does drag on. But look, if you're looking for a good fall romance that gives you the small town vibes, the adorable romance vibes, the autumnal vibes, because it has Halloween in it, has Thanksgiving, has Christmas. This one has you covered. I really enjoyed it. Again, 4 out of 5. So happy. And also has a playlist in it, because if you're a millennial like myself, you probably saw this playlist and freaking ate it up. And I know I did. Like, I'm talking about, we got the Wallflowers on there. We got Matchbox 20, the Carnigans, the Cranberries, Jewel, Cyril Crow, obviously, Blind Melon, like, love all those. Those are all on my 90s playlist that I will also say I listen to a lot, and so does my son, so teaching him well. But either way, I really enjoyed this one. So we have The Heartbreak Hotel by Ellen O. Clover. This was not on my radar, but again, the cover, very autumnal, super cute. This is about a character named Louisa, and at the beginning of the book, it ain't going good for her. She's at her boyfriend's concert. Her boyfriend, she's been with him for a long time. Now he's kind of a famous musician, and after backstage, she's like, look, I've been kind of cheating on you, so we should probably end this. So she's heartbroken, but she's like, I'm keeping this house, and it's this house right here. They have this beautiful house in the mountains that they've been renting, and he's like, fine, but she realizes that crap, she can't afford this house because he can only afford it because he's kind of a rock star. And so she reaches out to the owner of the house, Henry, who is the town's veterinarian, which this does have a dog on the cover, doesn't it? Oh, just kidding, it doesn't. It's on the back. The dog's a little bit. I wanted more dogs because he's a vet, but maybe that's just me. But either way, she reaches out to him and she's like, look, I have an idea. I love this house. I have loved it forever, but maybe I can make it like kind of a bed and breakfast so that way I can like earn money and stay my keep. And he's like, oh, I'm not sure. But eventually, you know, I think with her loving the house so much, he's like, fine. And so she does that. And then she decides to kind of make it like a heartbreak hotel, if you will, for people that are grieving, whether it be they lost someone they loved or whether they are just got out of a relationship and they need some time to process it, because she's training to be a therapist as well. That is what this, I think the whole inn's called Comeback Inn, if I'm not mistaken. It says, it opens its doors to weary, hopeful guests. Lou and Henry find themselves dancing around both their undeniable connection and their closely held secrets. It was cute. I will say, I will give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's not like your typical fall romance. This one has more depth in it because Henry, when you learn about Henry's story, he has been through some stuff. And Louise is also kind of going through heartbreak and trying to figure out who she is. And you meet all these characters that are going through grief and heartbreak in some form or another. So it does have that layer of depth. So if you're looking for like a really cute, not so in-depth fall romance, I would not recommend this one. It's not like super, super sad. It's got some in-depth stuff. I didn't love the romance either. I just didn't feel the connection between them, honestly. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I would give it like a 3.5. As far as autumnal vibes, they weren't there. I mean, they live in the mountains. They didn't really talk about the fall foliage. They didn't really do any autumnal things. They went on a hike once and then they went to get ice cream. So I'm like, it's not really autumn, you know what I'm saying? It does have Thanksgiving in this book as well, but it just wasn't very autumnal. So if you're looking for the autumnal vibes, I don't think it would fit it as well. But if you're looking for like a really kind of in-depth, a little bit more intense, I guess, love story with characters that are going through some stuff, I would recommend it. I did enjoy it. I would give it 3.5. But if we're talking about on the basis level here of just fall romances, it's a probably like maybe for me. Moving on to my next read, The Honeycrisp Orchard Inn by Valerie Bowman. Again, the fall cover is everything. It is super cute. I'm obsessed with it. It's very much giving like the Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. So this is a very, very short one. Like you can read this in no time at all. This one's like, it's only 250 pages, okay? There's a difference between, I think, romance books being too long and then some being too short. This one, I didn't enjoy. I did not enjoy. So this is going to be an interesting thing. So this whole book is about a character named Ellie, who is a big city person. She's a marketer, and she does stuff like that. And then at the beginning of the book, like all these books it seems to be, it ain't going good for her. She gets dumped, and she gets fired all in one fell swoop. So she has to kind of lick her wounds and go home to Long Island, where her parents own the Honeycrisp Orchard Inn. And so she goes there, and she learns that the inn is really not doing as well as it should. And there she meets Aiden, who... Is that his name? Yeah. There she runs into Aiden, who she used to be best friends with growing up. And he's like, we're planning this fall festival to help make more money to maybe keep the inn open. And so she decides to help with that because, you know, marketing, and then romance happens. And it was boring. I'm going to be straight up with you. It was boring. If I could give this book a rating, like just straight up rating, it would get a 2 out of 5 for me. And I know, I'm sorry. It was boring. I didn't feel like the romance between the characters. The setting was really good. I didn't like the main character. She was very much like every Hallmark movie of like a big city girl coming to like help run a B&B, but she's like, I'm a big city girl. And I didn't really feel like there was a lot of emotional depth to it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But now on the flip side of that, for autumnal reading, 5 out of 5 leaves, okay? It's set in an inn called the Honeycrisp Orchard. Goodness me. They like have a garage where they like cook all these apple cider and pumpkin spice donuts and all that kind of stuff. They have a fall festival. They have a Gilmore Girls drive-in night where you can drive up, eat some popcorn, and watch some Gilmore Girls. And I'm like, all of it sounds amazing. Like the autumnal vibes are there 1000%, which is why I wanted to love it so much, but I didn't. So I will say for this one, if you're looking for just a really, really good fall romance, if you're just looking for a fall romance that fits all the autumnal vibes, then yes. So you can pick and choose, okay? Okay. And the last book we have is People Watching by Hannah Boehm Young. Again, the cover, Chef's Kiss, amazing, loved it. I have read, this is either my third or fourth Hannah Boehm Young novel, and I did not like this one as much. I didn't hate it by any means. It just wasn't one that I obsessed with. So this is about a character named Prudence, and we also follow a character named Milo. So Prudence lives in this very small town, and her parents kind of own like the grocery store, and they live like above it and stuff like that. And she's 21, 22, something like that. And she's never really experienced life. She's always been home. And then, you know, when she was gonna kind of leave the coop and stuff like that, she learns that her mother has early onset dementia, which I've read so many books this year with that, like so many books. And oh, you know what? Also with that, yeah. I have read so many books this year with that. Like, it's been insane. And that's just something that's very, I guess, I don't want to say triggering, but it is to me because my dad has dementia and I'm the caretaker for him. So it's like, I feel kind of, I don't like reading it a lot. Which, by the way, this book also, a pet peeve, just forgive me. The main character in this, she asked her parents something, they forgot something or forgot a detail, and she says repeatedly, I wonder if they have dementia. I wonder if I have dementia. I'm going to send them a dementia test. Dementia, dementia, dementia. And I'm like, I know this is me just being very sensitive to the topic because I live it every day, but I was like, girl, you know, dementia's not like something you're just like, I wonder if she has dementia. You know, I don't know. That was just a pet peeve for me. I did not enjoy that fact at all, but I recognize that I am sensitive to that topic. Either way, she stays at home and she helps her mom out because her mom's really having a hard time with memory and things like that. And then enter in Milo. So Milo is kind of a town, Milo is a wanderer. He never really stays in one place for long, but his brother, who lives coincidentally right next to Prudence, calls him. He's like, look, I need your help. I'm opening a brewery in this small town and I need some help. So he goes and he meets Prudence, and it's like an instant connection. And so he also remembers Prudence's mom because she used to be his art teacher. And so he's like, hey, I'll paint with your mom because I'm an artist too. And maybe that, you know, will help her and things like that. And then also they develop a relationship where he kind of teaches her things, if you get what I mean. And I don't know. I just didn't love it. I would give it a 3 out of 5. I mean, her writing is beautiful. I love the family relationships. Milo has come from a very strained childhood and things that happen, and I feel horrible for him. But, and then Prudence is dealing a lot with her mom. So please let me know your thoughts and feelings. I would love to hear them. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Didn't feel the connection with either of the characters with their romance, because it happened like that. He was like, I'm obsessed with you, and I'm like, what? I don't know. I just didn't love the romance. So for me, altogether, a rating would be 3 out of 5. For the autumnal rating, 1 out of 5. There was no autumn to be found in this book. I don't know where it was. The cover is very misleading, which bums me out intensely because it is such a fallish cover, but no fall things. They didn't go apple picking. They didn't go to a pumpkin patch. I don't think they did remotely one thing autumnal. So that's a bummer. But, you know, if you're looking for this for just the autumn vibes, it's a pass. But if you're looking for a good romance, I would recommend it. I'm probably the only one that thinks the romance wasn't that engaging. Maybe that's just me. But either way, there's my thoughts and feelings on these 4 books. I don't know if you'll agree with them or not. You'll have to let me know. I could be alone in this. Sorry to say. But either way, I mean, I enjoyed them all for different reasons. For the romance vibes or the autumnal vibes, they were all interesting in that regard. Please let me know your thoughts and feelings. I would love to hear them. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.